What is going on, guys? Greetings of peace and blessings. I'm gonna jump straight into the point. This video is gonna be on a liar. His name is Tommy Robinson. He likes to lie about Islam and he has double standards. He's a hypocrite, and again, he's a liar and he likes to take things out of context. And I'm gonna show you guys, and if you're a Tommy Robinson fan and you're one of those Christian crusaders and you write comments saying to kill all the kebabs and all this other racist stuff, go ahead, leave it down in the comment sections. You're just showing your true colors. I read it all the time in the comment sections. But anyway, back to what we were saying. He runs around making videos, and his real name's not even Tommy Robinson. But anyway, he goes by the name Tommy Robinson. He works for Rebel Media, and he always goes on the Alex Jones channel. And again, Alex Jones is a liar. Alex Jones claimed that the Quran says, and this is according to that doofus Alex Jones, that blacks don't have souls. Again, the Quran doesn't say that. Why are you lying about the Quran? But I digress there. He also works for, Tommy Robinson works for Rebel Media, and that channel, it's pure Zionism, it's Islamophobia, and they like to anger up right-wing people, and instead of focusing on solutions and real problems, they make up fake problems and try to get their audience to take out their frustration and focus and anger on a fake problem. But I digress there. Tommy Robinson, I'm going to show you guys a clip right here where he ignores Piers Morgan's questions. And again, remember, he's the one who ran around making videos saying mosques in England should be banned because they're against homosexuality.
We've got preachers speaking in here who call for the death of homosexuals. No, this mosque has.
Do you know what, some of my friends came here and they saw a really inspirational women in this.
Oh yeah, really inspirational when they call for the death of fucking homosexuals. Really.
I'd rather stand here than with you. I'd rather stand here than with you. Disgusting.
That's because Islam, the act of homosexuality is a sin. But you won't see Tommy Robinson saying that about churches.
All the churches who are like, oh, let's just open our doors and just love everybody. Look, no queers allowed in this church. And all God's people said, amen. There's no queer. Is that even legal? Against such there is no law. No homos will ever be allowed on this church as long as I'm the pastor here. Never! Like, oh, we need to pray for him that he finds Jesus. I'm going to pray that he dies and goes to hell. I have no love. No love! You say, well, I'm offended. I don't want to ever... Then get out of here. Because you know what? You're not welcome here. Lose people? I hope I lose people with this kind of preaching. I hope I lose all the freak, pervert sympathizers. Get out of here. You're destroying America. And speaking of nuts, I have a nut here, okay? And this is a bolt, okay? So listen, this is what a normal person does, all right? See, I got the bolt right here, represent the male, right? We got the nut right here, represent the female, all right? This is what normal people do, okay? This is what, now let me show you what insanity says to do. It doesn't work, stupid. See, but people are crazy today. And then here's what they do. They say, oh, Pastor Anderson's crazy.
If we use Tommy Robinson's logic, can you imagine how many of his right-wing followers churches would be closed? And again, the right-wingers would call for civil war. They call themselves Christian crusaders, but they're just a bunch of cowards and internet trolls. But I digress there. Take a look at these two clips and notice how he ignores the question.
Because there are 100 verses in this...
Yes or no? Okay. Are you Islamophobic?
There's no such word as Islamophobia. Phobia is an irrational fear. It's not irrational to fear these things. Now, if I hold this book up and say, there will never be peace on this earth so long as we have this book, it's a violent and cursed book. What do you know about Islam?
A lot.
Okay, have you read the biography of Muhammad?
Yes, I've read the Quran. Have you read the Quran?
Yes, I have.
Have you read the Bible?
Yes, have you read the biography of
Which
Muhammad?
has more violence in it?
Piers, have you read the biography of Muhammad? What do you know about the Prophet Muhammad?
Which has more...
Just ask me a question, please. What do you know about the Prophet Muhammad?
Here's how this programme works.
So you guys saw that clip, and you see how he ignores questions when it comes to Christianity and Judaism in the Bible, because there are similarities and also differences. Again, Islam is the truth. Christianity, Judaism, and every other religion is false. But we see one of the similarities is Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. All three religions are against homosexuality, but Tommy Robinson ignores Judaism and Christianity's stance on homosexuality and only attacks Islam. And when Piers Morgan asks him about the Bible and stuff, he ignores the questions. He refuses to answer it because he's a hypocrite. He has double standards, and he does selective outrage. He doesn't truly care. But what I mean by selective outrage is when the media purposely reports a story or doesn't report a story to push their agenda. So he does selective outrage, and he only likes to get mad on Islam and stuff. But take a look at this clip and how he quotes the Quran out of context, and he's going to quote chapter 9, verse 5.
Okay, so
Tommy Robinson,
when the sacred months are passed, slay the non-Muslims wherever you find them and take them captive and besiege them and prepare for them in ambush. Who's slaying who? I'm not inciting hatred. This calls for my death.
Representative of the Finsbury Park Mosque.
So again, you saw Tommy Robinson take chapter 9, verse 5 of the Quran out of context. But even if we use Tommy Robinson's logic and we look at this verse out of context and interpret it the way Tommy Robinson wants to interpret it, it says after the sacred months are over. So in Islam there are 4 sacred months. So how come when these people who claim to be Muslims, who do un-Islamic acts, and they go and they target innocent civilians and do evil and barbaric acts in those sacred months, and also out of the sacred months, if it happens during the sacred months, the same Tommy Robinson will come and he'll claim it's Islamic, and his news organization Rebel Media and his buddy Alex Jones will do the same thing. Again, we see these people are liars and losers. And let's also analyze some more stuff about this.
We've had 3 terror attacks.
Talker.
Children are being killed.
Yes, we all know what's been happening.
Yes, I would. I would stop.
You would ban all Muslims.
I would temporarily halt Muslim immigration to this country until we get a grip of the problem. Now, again,
You did. I said you were violent because you have a long record of criminal convictions for violence. You led a hooligan firm at Luton.
Piers,
You've renamed. Your name is not even Tommy Robinson. You renamed yourself after the leader of Luton Football Club's main hooligan gang, Men in Gear, right? You accept all that, do you?
Yeah, I do. I've not come here.
So you have a record of
I've not come here to have a slime.
I'm going to end the video right here, guys, but after I say peace, I'm going to end the video with a clip of the context and explanation of Quran chapter 9 verse 5. Since Tommy Robinson took it out of context, and again, that's what Islamophobes like to do. Reflect upon this. Peace.
Yes.
Can you very quickly, if it's possible, you said killed them, where you find
Oh my God, you want to know about that one?
I've never heard that, so...
So cool. So cool. I'll tell you what it's talking about. I will tell you what it's talking about. So, anybody ever seen Red Dawn?
Yes.
Yeah. The old one or the new one?
The old and new.
The old and the new? The old one was better.
It was.
The old one was better. I had the craziest experience watching Red Dawn. On watching this film, you guys know what I'm talking about or no? How many people don't know? Oh my God, seek forgiveness. Anyway. Watching this film, it's a matter of perspective, right? North Koreans are invading the United States and parachutes are landing and they're taking over half the country and it's crazy, and these poor high school kids are running up into the woods and their dad taught them to use a shotgun or something, and they're now considered, guess what? They're considered terrorists. And they're considered insurgents. Outlaws. And I'm like, what a matter of perspective. I'm watching that like, no, they didn't just make that movie. I mean, it's just a matter of who's wearing what flag. You see what I'm saying? Perspective changes everything. Now, the thing of it is, in the in the Islamic tradition, that's a new way. In the Islamic tradition, the Prophet, peace be upon him, peacefully started a call to Islam in a city called Mecca at the age of 40. Invited people to this religion, started reciting the revelation that was coming to him. Some people accepted it, most people didn't. People got more and more offended as he continued to recite it. So there were attempts on his life. Then there were attempts on the lives of people who followed his faith. It got to the point where they couldn't live there anymore. So they had to actually secretly escape to another city, leaving behind their businesses, their homes, their families, in some cases. Some people were killed, tortured to death, while not fighting back. They make it to another city where they were welcomed. Most people did accept the faith there. A sort of conglomerate government was formed with the cooperation of Christian and Jewish communities. Medinan society was formed. And then they started preparing for battle with the city they ran away from. Now, from a political science perspective, they have every right to fight the city that expelled them because what's there? Their homes. They were kicked out of their home for no reason. They were the ones aggressed against for no crime that they committed of their own except for believing. Nobody should be oppressed for what they believe, no matter what it is. Now, this is a universal thing. It's not just an Islam thing. So they're in every right. If the United Nations was back then, they would be okay with it. They would be okay with it. Now this war starts, and it's going on, and it happens. There's several battles that take place, and eventually the Muslims win. And how do they win? They actually peacefully march into the city of Mecca with 100,000. They're overwhelmed by the numbers, and they walk in and they don't kill it. They actually pray, and everybody just drops their arms like there's too many of these guys. And then the Prophet gathers all of the enemies. All the chief enemies that were in battle just a year before, 2 years before, they were out for blood. He gathers all of them and says, I will say to you what Joseph said to his brothers. There's no harm coming on you today. Then revelation comes. This is not the Prophet talking now, it's revelation talking. Revelation comes and says, these criminals that fought you all this time, give them 4 months. Give them 4 months to think about the faith. Take them to a place that's safe so they don't feel intimidated. If they decide that they want to be Muslims, fine. If not, they better not come back, and if they do, kill them wherever you find them. But they have how much? 4 months. 4 months. And in those 4 months, if you want to leave, go ahead, pack your bags and get out of here. If you want to accept Islam, if you come to that decision yourself, you know what? You're an equal citizen. And if not, we don't take prisoners. We're not taking prisoners. But until those 4 months, you are free to do what you want. This is the specific context of that declaration. It is not a universal Muslim foreign policy. It has actually nothing to do with what will happen after the prophetic tradition, because we believe that the punishments of God, like the flood of Noah, or earthquake or fire from the sky, or the town sinking into the ground, those kinds of punishments come from God. You know when they come? When a messenger is in the flesh with the people and he's rejected, then God's wrath comes. When a messenger is not there, those kinds of unique punishments don't come on the people, where they're annihilated. It's only at the final rejection of a messenger. And by the way, let me add something else. When the flood water reaches up to here, in the case of Noah, right? The only thing above water is the nose now. Does God hit the pause button and say, you learned your lesson now? I'm going to take the water back down. You watch it this time. Does that happen? There's a fire rain from the sky, and right before it hits the guy on the top of the head, it stops. You want to joke about God's wrath now? You think it's funny now? Does it ever happen? Once it starts, you can't stop it. This is God's tradition in previous nations. This is true of Islamic tradition and the same stories that are mentioned in the Bible. This is what we believe. Now, in the Prophet's case, the punishment was not coming from the sky or a rain or flood or a typhoon. It was the Muslim army that took over the city of Mecca. And God's tradition fulfilled. All criminals who fought against the messenger should be what? Killed. But the pause button is pressed and told 4 months. The pause button was never pressed before. It's 4 months. Think about it. If you want to leave, move to Rome, go ahead. Move somewhere else, go ahead. Otherwise, you will face God's wrath, which has been coming from previous prophets too. And this is a messenger, and God does not forgive those who violate his messenger's causes. Those who have been ardent criminals. It's up to you. Then a guy came up to the Prophet and said, I don't know where you've been. I was in my house when you were preaching. I never came outside. I never even knew who you were until you just took over Mecca. What about me? I mean, he must have had an Xbox at home or something. He stayed up the entire time. He didn't come out. You know, yeah.
You mentioned in the first session that there were two perspectives of how to interact.
God's and ours. Yeah. So anyway, he says, what about me? I didn't do anything. I didn't fight you guys. You know? And Allah says, what about them? A specific verse came about the exceptional case. Listen, I was talking about warring combatants, and I gave them those 4 months. If one or the other comes, what do? وَإِنْ أَحَدٌ مِّنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ اسْتَجَارَكَ فَأَجِرْهُ حَتَّى يَسْمَعَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ ثُمَّ أَبْلِغْهُ مَأْمَنَهُ ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. If one of the idol worshippers comes to you saying, listen, I have no idea. I don't know what this stuff is. Then فَأَجِرْهُ, leave him be and keep him safe. Ajru means two things. Leave him be and keep him safe. حَتَّى يَسْمَعَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ, until he gets to hear God's word. ثُمَّ أَبْلِغْهُ مَأْمَنَهُ, then after he hears God's word, take him to a safe place. ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. That's because they were a people that didn't know. That's because they were people that didn't know. People that didn't know, you are responsible to protect them. Let them know what this is, because they didn't know, but you're also responsible to protect them. Context. Without context, you can pull anything up. Without context, I'm running around after my child, playing with her, and I would say, I'm going to get you. I'm a lion, I'm going to eat you. I say it all the time. Maybe you record. Namal Khan told his children that he's going to eat them. We have a direct recording. I'm going to eat you. Did you say that, sir? Yes, I did. I actually did say that. And then they asked my child, were you scared? I was really scared. Context, guys. Context. You know, it's so easy to manipulate a text. And the beauty of it is, when I see people manipulating the Quran as text, I find fulfillment of God's word in that. Because he says, يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَمَا يُضِلُّ بِهِ إِلَّا الْفَاسِقِينَ. He guides with this word many, and he lets other people be misguided with this word, many of them. And the only one who go into misguidance by using the word are people who are inherently corrupt. People that have corrupt intention will use it for misguidance, and when they do that, I say, oh, you told us. Thanks. Thanks for the heads up. So I'm not shocked by it. Like we were talking.